Great. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, introduce yourself?
My name is Harley White Jr., and I am a local musician in Sacramento, and I teach and I play music professionally.
And what is Black History to you?
Oh, that's a loaded question. Can I cuss? No, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm very proud to be black, but also think that black is a word that's not very useful anymore. Let me explain. When we first came here to America, we were niggers. We fought to get our freedom, and then we became colored, which is generic and disrespectful. And then we fought and got more rights, got the right to vote, and then they called us Negroes. We were Negroes, all right? And then we ran around, that was like, we Negroes, yay. And then the 60s came along, we were like, no, we black. And we wrote the songs about it, we grew our hair out, and it was cool. We needed to do all that, but in 2021, I'm African. I'm made in America, but I'm African. As a matter of fact, we did the DNA test, so I'm Sierra Leone. I don't want Black History Month. I celebrate myself all 12 months, you know? So black, it just doesn't fit me anymore. It's 1 month, it's the shortest month. I don't have time for that. And then I'm gonna just really kick it. I'm not look at the cameras. Black is whatever white wants it to be. You dig it? I'm tired of that.
Okay. And what have you noticed has significantly changed about Black history over time?
The big thing that people don't want to admit or don't see is that the kids are all mixed. Ain't nobody pure white or black no more.
Right.
If you go to the South, all these white boys, half these white boys running around with guns. If they did a DNA test, they'd be surprised who grandmama is. So, and the kids just know this. The kids just know already. The kids don't trip off racism like we did when we grew up. So, that's just what I see that's different.
Okay. What are things you wish people knew about Black history that we don't usually hear about?
The biggest one is science, mathematics, like hard sciences, how much Africans were involved in astronomy and agriculture and at the most basic level, you know, civilization, administration, cities, universities. They always want to, in Hollywood, there's always some warrior king, some kind of struggle, whatever. Never just show the smart people doing smart stuff, building those mosques and building those roads and tending those farms and go to church. You know what I'm saying? This is always some second-rate stuff, filtered through not what really happened. You know. Did Pythagoras really invent the right triangle? All those pyramids, all those structures. Really, can y'all give us a break, please?
What do you think, or how do you think Black history impacts your community?
Well, let's go back to your first question. I think because we use the word black, and it's a construct, which I went into, we never really get to the conversations that would fix society. Okay, let me be really clear what I'm talking about. Why I don't like black, white, the red man, the yellow man. When you deal with America, or the Americas, so we're talking from Alaska all the way down to Argentina, Chile, I'm dealing with four groups of people. You're either European, who immigrated here, Africans who were brought here by Europeans, indigenous people who were already here, and Asian people who migrated. So two of those groups didn't migrate here. Indigenous people already here, Africans got brought here. And we're all mismatched of something now. And you can get into the Eastern Europeans and Sub-Europeans and Afro-Eurasian India and all that other stuff, but basically there's four food groups. Asians, Europeans, indigenous people, and Africans. So I want to celebrate those cultures more than I want to talk about, you know, black. I want a Sierra Leone month. I want a Portuguese month. Let me have an Italian month. You know, if you're going to do all that. But black month, let me have a Venezuelan month. That tells me way more about it. Let me even get a little bit deeper into it. Because when we talk about my Mexican brethren, That's generic. Where are you from? Jalisco? Mojito? What? Huh? Do we ever say European Americans? Never in the dialectic. We never say, they always get to be, I'm Italian American. I'm a French American. You're a Central American. What the fuck's a Central American? Where? No, there's actually a place. It's Nicaragua. Oh, yeah. So we get these generic terms, and I think because we use them, we can't get. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to bleep something.
It's totally fine. It's okay.
But we get these generic terms, we can't get to the real conversation. You're European, bruh. Don't get mad at immigrants. When did your parents come over? Or your great grandparents? Doesn't care. I don't care how American you think you are. Okay, you don't have, but your French parents, somebody got on the boat and came over here, or you were either here already or got brought here. In the story.
What are some ways we can help educate or inform on Black history?
Geography lesson that I just gave you. But the fun way, I'm telling you, and this is why I'm so hard on the music, and thank you for calling me today. The fun way to do it, we can sit around and point at a map, or we can just have music lessons, because that's just the most organic way to talk about all this stuff. Especially in America. Let me leave you with this. Okay. To your point, very pointed. Very pointed. There is no uniquely American music. It's all hybrids of hybrids. It's what everybody brought here. So that's why it's been such a fascinating experience to me, because the first time I became bilingual was in music class. Presto, adagio, and all those terms that I've been kicking with you. I mean, that was the beginning. And I started putting it together. I'm not fluent in any other language, but it is part of my vocabulary. And let me keep this on one more point. I want you guys to take this forward. For everybody in your class who sees this, you are the amalgamation of all the words you know. You are the language you speak. Even words you don't use, that you read in some novel, maybe a word made up in a Tolkien book. It's still part of your register of who you are. So as you go through this life, collecting words, reading books, making friends who are bilingual, yet you are becoming that. And then every once in a while, that word will come out in your conversation. And then you had it back there waiting forever. So that's kind of what the music is the language, respecting language and people's origins for real, leaving these constructs behind, realizing that people are hybrids of people. No one's 100% anything. And that's, a uniquely African American story. I think that's what people should walk away from this Black History Month from. What is it to be uniquely American? And he knows that more than the people they call black. Because we came here we don't have our family names. They tried to strip us of our music. We had to totally reinvent the whole game. And with the help of some brethren, we did. And there it is.
Do you consider Black history international, or is it just in the States?
Oh, no doubt. Oh, come on now. Yeah, this is the problem with Americans. Okay. I'm going to need the floor. Can I get the floor for 5 minutes? Listen. You like hip-hop? You like hip-hop? You like that? Well, it's so funny because, all the guys my age now are mad at the kids because they don't do the bars anymore. The kids just do turts. They go, doot, doot. They just do little sounds, and then, it's not the same. They're all mad at them, oh, that's not hip-hop no more. And let's flash forward. When I was a kid and they stopped playing instruments, we were like, that's not music no more. Right? What I'm saying is, in the 20s, the urban youth started this whole new movement called swing. And one of the anthems, ghetto anthems, was a song called "It Don't Mean a Thing If It Ain't Got That Swing." That's a b-boy stance if there ever was one. So every generation of kids comes along and restamps it. The swing kids have to step out of the way for the R&B kids. The R&B kids have to get out of the way for the funk kids. The funk kids have to get out of the way for the hip-hop kids. And the hip-hop kids are having to get out of the way for the trap kids. But that whole independent spirit of being a youth, that hasn't changed. That's what's not going to change. That's what's going to stay the same. I'm not supposed to be in the club listening to your trap music. Keep my old butt at home. When I was your age, I don't want no old dudes in the club with me telling me how scrunching their face. I don't have time for that. And you don't either. It's your time. And that's what you should know about Black History Month. It's your time, and enjoy it. And when it's time to pass the mic, pass it.
What are some misconceptions about Black History Month?
The big one is that just like going back to like we're just entertainers and athletes, and the whole thing of artisans and deep thinkers and architects and astronomers and aviators and folks are all up in it and been in it for a while. You know, every time they say this is the first black person to do something, I'm so bored of that. If you really look at Black history, you wouldn't be that surprised. No, you're surprised, boo. I'm not surprised. You built the pyramids. You got your pyramids on your money. Am I making it up? So that's the one. That's the biggest one. The people don't really look at what you're seeing. You know. But again, you can put it under the shelf of black, and then you can manipulate it and make it what it wants. Look at Hollywood movies. Is Denzel ever gonna get to kiss the girl? He's the greatest actor of our time. No one wants to see an old man kiss no girls now, but when he was doing it, and he starred with all those girls, they all had their ages like, put me in a movie with Denzel, but I can't kiss him. You can't do a love scene. Like that character wouldn't have had a love scene in real life with you. Stop me. Be black, so we can just bend the rules a little bit, and everybody will buy it.
How would you like to see Black History Month celebrated in the future?
Call it African History Month if you have to relegate it to a month. The problem is, can you relegate African history to a month? So maybe they just get rid of the whole dang thing and just give people their respect. But if you have to do that, I'd do it by countries. Okay. You know, because then countries can even bring their multiculturalism to that conversation. Afro-Portuguese in Portugal is very different than Afro-Portuguese in Brazil. They're not the same, but they are the same kind of ish. But the dishes are the same, and the paella is totally different. So respect that. Talk to that person about their experience. Don't make a generality about it, right? So that means you have to talk to people for real. Know that they are the languages they speak, and you can at that moment broaden their language. You always have that opportunity. And you're always, they might be broadening your language also. So I think the big thing is realizing people's humanities, respecting where they came from, but realizing that doesn't really say a lot about them, does it? Ultimately. Doesn't make them nice, doesn't make them smart. You don't have to actually talk to them and feel their heart and such their conscious now. You know, as a band leader, and I'm going back to music, I don't care who you are, what you are. I need talent. This is too hard. If it's a woman that's gonna be my drummer, and that's it. And I'm not paying her less or anything. I'm not talking to her any more stupid or nothing. Why? Why would I do that? I need talent. I don't care. I just don't. This is too hard. And the thing is, it must be nice to be, whatever your endeavor is, that you can just bypass talent. You can just say, I just don't want any men, or I don't want any white people, or this music thing's too hard. I need all the talented people. I need all the talented kids. I need all the talented parents of all the different talents. And my job is to take all these talents and make them work together. Now, what if our politicians thought like that? Because in the band, everybody plays. Even the talented kids with the not talented kids. But everybody, when it counts off the song, everybody has to play. Our politicians, do they treat everyone like that? Is there a merit system? So these are the discussions I like to have during these Black History Months and these Columbus Days and these, Can I forfeit Black History Month? I forfeit Black History Month for a real Native American month. Let's have first things first. First things first. Do we have a Native American month?
No.
Oh, okay. See, I can't. That's where these things again. Who controls the conversation? I'm only dealing with Europeans, Africans, Asians, and Indigenous people. So, what do we have an Indigenous People Month? That's what I want to do with Black History Month. I want to have that. That's what Black History. That would be make Black History useful to me.
Do you have anything to add?
When band practice.
We will figure that out.
Okay, right on, Ryan. Thank you for having me. I'm sorry you got to bleep out some of this stuff.
It's
You know.
okay.
But we got to keep it 100, and I just feel like you guys do. And that's even, but my generation's kind of still figuring it out. And it's like, are you really? Okay. So thank you for asking this question.
You're welcome.